Okay, so it's a few days later, and I emailed Amazon and explained the situation. I'd actually owned the unit 6 weeks at the point of me building it. I ordered it when it was cheap, and you get a 30-day return window. But that's not your warranty, is it? But when I tried to query that with Amazon, it wouldn't let me do it online. So I rang them, and they said, let us look into that, and we'll come back to you with an email in a couple of days. And the day after, I just got a full refund. No questions, don't return it, here's a full refund. So now I'm going to try and take out that fan and repair it and see if I can have a very, very cheap diesel heater. So let's get started. So here we are at this stage. I've just unplugged it and brought it onto my desk, and that's it. So, oh, it falls apart, right, okay. There's nothing holding it together, that's bizarre. So it says to me the fan has failed. Now the only fan it's got, as far as I can figure out, is this. And that looks like that's the motor for it there. So how it seems to work is there's a burner unit here, it heats these fins, the air's forced through, comes out here, hot air, and your exhaust gases go back out there. So let's see, how do we get, is that mounted as badly in the bottom half as the top? No, it's actually screwed in there. This end looks like it comes off. There's some little tabs there. Do they show on camera? Let's check. I'm all on my own today with no photographer. I'm not sure she helped anything anyway, but don't tell anyone. But if we get a little screwdriver, push these tabs. Does that do anything? I'm not even sure which way they go. If they go anyway, I can take my finger behind that. Ow! No. I can't see in there. But it does look like that's like a pry point there. There's a big flat screwdriver. You see, it does come away a bit there. So okay, let's try and do that. A pry point. What have we got? Pry points. Where is this? There's one that side. Yeah, one each side, not top and bottom. Go away. So, if I press on that. Almost looks like they've been glued. I guess it's not a serviceable unit in their eyes. 60 quid, just give you your money back and take it as a loss. I don't know what the failure rate on these is. So there's no actual tabs in that one. It just comes away. I've got a feeling that's glued around there now. Oh, there we go. We've cracked something. No, not glued. Because it did look a bit on that side. There was a bit of glue. Maybe just a bit of melted plastic. So, that's a single piece, isn't it? That whole base is a single piece. I was thinking it might just slide out. But it can't slide out with all that under there. I'll whip that off and see. Where is that? Bigger than that. Could be the tin. threw this plate on, I didn't really pay much attention to what was under this gasket. Maybe this bottom bit detaches before you slide it out. I don't know. Let's find out. Nothing really accessible there, is there? So, looks like it all pushes up. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. Now we're cooking. That leaking fuel. It might have a bit of residual fuel in it. Just looking now, the motor looks to be those wires, which goes around and plugs in there. So that's the motor, and it's just DC. It's a 3-pin socket, but it is only 2 wires wired. So then what? Does that slide out of there? What's the deal here? Anyone who planned these things would probably look on YouTube and look for somebody else tearing one down. But this is me we're talking about. Let's pop that off. What's that? 4, 5. And then keys at other end at workshop. Let's have a look. It looks to be a 4, I reckon. 4, yeah, 4. God, that's loose. So that wasn't even tight to start with. Good. Proper Chinese. Put my bench back in. I feel like that's clipped on there somehow, but I can't see how. And it's just sat behind it. That's it. So that slides out. Wow, look at that. There's nothing to it, is there? So how's this motor held in? Does that just pull off the shaft? No. We've got a grub screw. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's a little screw there. What's that? No, it's not a screw. It's just metal. Anything else? There's 2 of them. So, what do we do with those? Are they caps over a screw, maybe? I could just do with putting 12 volts on that and seeing if it spins naturally. I'm sure it was still running. But it said, the error message said the motor or the sensor for it. Well, what sensor? There's no sensor on a 12 volt feed. If it had 3 wires, then you could understand that. Oop, losing parts. Over there. Okay, so let's work out how this is held on. Does that move? Oh, that moves. So does that up, down? We've got a bit of back and forth movement with it. Is it held on at the back of this faceplate from the shaft? Does it run right down here? I'm just not sure. Because it's cast there, it's sitting into that. I bet there's a couple of screws through there, you know. There's a couple of screws from there holding it that way. Let's have a look. My God, they're not tightened up. I suppose your Chinese factory knows how tight you can tighten your Chinesium screws, isn't it? Because I've had some crap screws from cheap stuff, but you get what you pay for, don't you? You pay about £1.50 for a Webasto version of this. What is that sound? Does that lifts off? Okay. What's that made of? It looks kind of like clay almost, doesn't it? So it's got a little gasket there. That seems in decent condition. That bit doesn't spin right, so that's. Are they just pressed on the shaft? It's hard to say, isn't it? I can see splines on the shaft here. Let's have a zoom in and a look. Zoom, 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 zoom. There we go. Can you make out those splines just on there? So maybe it just slides on that end. I can't see anything really. Does that unscrew? There's like that piece looks a separate piece to that piece. Let's have another look at it. Unzoom. There we go. What's that? A little bit still. Push against that. See if it comes back. Oh yeah, I think that's moved a bit. Where is it? What we need is just put a little bit of 12 volts to this motor and see what happens. A little lithium battery I've got. Let's just check this is charged. .3, that'll do, that's enough. Let's try not to be too sketchy wiring this on. So there, that's good enough. A bit longer, plenty long. Pull that one back. So I'm going to just stick that in there and stick the other end in that socket. Don't do this at home. You know I'm as daft as they come. And then if we push that one in there, hopefully this has made contact. We touch that there. Bzz, bzz. No, there's nothing happening. Are they making contact in there? That is the question. I don't think that one is. I can see the end of the wire. A bit more metal. Professional wire trimmer, that. The finest teeth. Right. Put back in there. There's a good chance that that's making contact. Give that one a bit more. There we go. There's not any stray strands stuck out. We don't want anything shorting. Right, so I have that one in the positive and that one. not moving, so maybe the motor's died. Or maybe it's actually failed and it was actually correct error message. I wonder, could I pop these out of here and just put them directly onto that battery? Let's have a look. How do they come out? I've got some little what do you call them? Connector remover things. That's a technical name. And I've seen them today and I've lost them already because I've been having a bit of a tidy up today. There. So these handy little tools, you can generally get most connectors out with them. Maybe just a flat one on this. Feeling there's a little spur under there. If we slide in like that, I think we can get under it. Maybe not. No. I can see it. See the nice soldering injury from the other day. I was trying to rebuild an e-bike battery, but there's a CAN bus system in the Bosch thing that prevents it from working. So we need to work out a way around the CAN bus, because the battery actually charges and works now, using the original cells and just a cheap charge board from China. Charge board on that doesn't have the CAN bus that the Bosch one has. Let's try a different tool. Maybe that one, a bit thinner. A bit thinner under there. Now I'm wondering if I'm going in wrong side. Maybe that side. See, when I saw these on Amazon, I thought, oh, that's great, look at all them, they'll do any socket, but it does, if you know exactly which one to use. I don't know which one to use, it's a bit trial and error. Is that it? Come out with it. There's a definite click then. Oy. Ah, I see, said the blind man. It's there. So if we push that down, does that free it up? I think it does. So does that mean I need to come in above that from that side? I think it does, and then I coax it out. So I need to do it like this. Push that down. Yeah, I think that's it. Push that down. I might fast forward all of this. Comment below. Is it better if I fast forward bumbling crap like this? Or is it better if I just leave you to watch it like some ASMR relief? I don't know. Would you like to just sit and watch me failing? Maybe that's it. this. I'm not happy with that. Is it one of these double ones? These things double. You're supposed to go in like that somehow. Then squeeze it and push it out. That's it. That's the one. That's how you do it. So you go one in the pink and one in the stink, like that. He says the second one didn't work. Maybe a slightly smaller one of that would work. So what have we got? So many. Well, that's a double there, that might do it. Too small. And they're bigger. That's my who sieve, it's not that. Who sieve. What was I using before? Was it that one? There we go. Right. Are those bigger than the hole I want to try them in? No, that's okay. Because for God's sake, you don't want to short a lithium battery. Right. Moment of truth. This might kick. Or not. So yeah, so the motor's dead. Dead. And that's what the error is. Okay. So how do we get that motor out of there? Here's the question. So do we pry that off? Can't see I could pry that off without damaging it. Just pull on both ends and see if something gives. I'm going to try that again. See, that looks like you could use a bearing puller type thing on it, but then with it being made of plastic, it'd probably just snap it. So 2 thumbs. Ow. That's not good enough. So I wonder, do they sell replacement parts? And does it come as the whole fan unit? Because this doesn't look like a serviceable part to me. Oh, the sensor. Right, hang on a minute. There's some magnets here. They're magnets, not screws. And so, let's have a look when that's in place. On there. How did it go? That way. When that's in place on there. And this board is wherever it was. There. Trim that wire. Come out. There we go. So when that's in place there, is it sensing those magnets? It's not really close enough, is it? That needs to fade away. There we go. Fade off around that way. So, when that's sat there, like it was before I pulled screws out, how did we do it? We went under, didn't we, like that? Yeah. Ah, okay. So the magnet passes over that bit there, so I bet there's some kind of sensor under there. Let's have a quick look. Right, if I unplug this, can I remember where everything went? I can't unplug it anyway, it's hardwired, soldered there. Oh no, we're alright, so take that one off there and that one off there. 3 went opposite the 4, the other 3 is the thing, the motor. I undo that screwdriver, move that out my way before I knock it over. Missing the second screw, just one. This must be the brains of the whole thing, because there don't look to be any other circuit boards on it. Oh, let's have a look. Squeeze out of there. I was expecting some kind of sensor there. There's not. There's just that. But who knows how small a sensor could be? I mean, I don't know. Together. Fat fingers and dinky screws. Come on. I'll plug those wires back in before I forget where they came from. Which way around did that go? That way, so it clips on, and that one was opposite it. There, so it clips on. So it does look to me like this has a failed motor, because it really should spin. If it was 3 wires, I'd question, but just out of curiosity, get the continuity tester on there. Is it brushless? It's not brushless, is it? 'Cause it's 2 wires. Brushless would definitely be 3, so it's just a DC motor. And I believe on a DC motor you should see continuity like that when you touch them. But also on a DC motor, when you spin it, it makes a bit of voltage. So let's test that. Working like a little dynamo. So we'll connect them on there. Stay on there. Get on. Try it back a bit. Can anyone just hold that for us? Come on. There we go. And get that all in one end. Like that. And I spin that. Readings on my multimeter. It'd probably make a better video if I put my multimeter in shown. Just like if I get hold of those, I'm generating about 30. I'm well aware that I look like I'm pissing about here. The reason for that is I'm pissing about here. Hold that one down. Right, they're held down. That should be making more than that. If I can generate 30 with my fingers, 60 with my fingers, think that adds to the evidence that it's the motor and not the sensor. So I'm going to buy a motor or this end unit, whatever they do. So the question is it just a motor, or do they sell a kit with the this whole fan assembly on the end? Hidden screw or something, like a little grub screw. Not seeing anything. So what if I try and pry that off there with a big loutish screwdriver? Oh, something moved. What moved? Was it me? Did I move? No, it did. It came up a bit. So that's what we need to do, I think. Do it that way now. I've got a bit of room. You just know this Chinesium's gonna break, isn't it? Get that in there. Yeah, so I was right, those splines on the end of that shaft. It's just pressed on. Whee! Catch. And there we go. They look like 3mm. Yeah, and they're probably not tight either. Oh, I'm wrong. They're tighter than everything else has been. It's just dawned on me at this new setup, it might be a good idea to have the camera over my left shoulder than my right, because I'm right-handed. And I'm probably blocking a view of this. My dog's barking, which means he needs a pee. And my son's ignoring him. What's going on here? Oh yeah, I see. I see. Okay. So I reckon that's going to be similar. I need to pull on that. Equally daft. Oh, look at that, pull straight off. So yeah, that's the culprit. We think. Right, I'll get one of these ordered if I can find one, and we'll reconvene the video. Now, before I get all giddy and spend money, it just dawned on me, maybe, where's the camera? There. Maybe a wire has come off inside this motor. So I'm just going to pop it apart before I part with any pennies. We'll see what happens. Also, given that I stood up and moved, I thought I might as well put the camera over my left shoulder. Let's see if that's better now. 3, I don't think that's a 3, it's too big, it's a 2.5, it's a 2.5. It's bloody tight. Oh, there we go, so that's either shattered or I think it's probably just rounded itself off. Have a look. they're thread locked in, you know. Because that's certainly not turning after it clicked. Let's see if we can find a better fitting Allen key than that. That's a snap-on 2.5. That might be a better tolerance. Yeah, the garbage Chinesium screws, possibly thread locked in. Never gonna come out. What's the next size up from 2.5? Don't say 3. I'm thinking, is there an Imperial one that'll do it? It's a tighter fit. It's not quite 3. That's loose. 5/64ths, 3/32ths. No. 7/64ths. Ooh. Ooh, that could be a very sexy tight fit. Let me go and get a little toughy hammer. Here we go. Let's put that blade away before we get injured. I wonder. A little. Don't feel good. It's not going to work. I'm pretty sure they've been bloody red or dead thread lock in there. Nah, it's rounding off and just feel it going. Let's try another one. Not that it's going to matter if we get one undone, because we need them both. Try that in. How's that? Persuasion. That feels a good fit, does that? Some leverage there. Something else in that ring spanner. I'll be back. Let's use an 11 then, eh? Seems we haven't got a 10. That's it. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's turning. Ah, it is. Right, let's try that one again. Let's try that one. I've probably rounded it off now. Come on, which way do we want to do it? That way. No, that one's not turning. So if I'd used the wrong Allen key at first, it may well have worked. So the lesson for the day, don't use the right tool. Use the next size up. Yeah, that's not turning. That's a shame, because that one is... definitely turning. We could spin that out now. You can guarantee now, can't you? It'll be a little wire at the other end of that wire has become detached inside or something like that. And there's not a prayer of me getting that out of there now, because it's rounded it off. It's just mush. Just mush. bob. Right, I'll go buy one. They're not going to be much, are they? The entire kit was 60 quid.